Welcome to what is going to be my pocket check, EDC update, pocket dump, whatever you want to call it, for spring of 2023. This video essentially is going to be a rundown on what my pockets have looked like for my everyday carry for the past, say, 3 months of this year. One thing I want to do is try and do this monthly because I get so much gear coming in sent to me and stuff that I'm buying and testing out. My carry changes a lot, so what I want to do is a video every month of my most carried gear for that month. So let me know if that's something you'd like to see. Leave a comment down below if you do. And without further ado, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to show you what I'm carrying. Should we start off with knives? That's what everyone wants to know about the most. So this is a knife that I can't see leaving my pocket anytime soon. It's pretty much a one and done. I feel like I could honestly sell every knife in my collection and just use this. This is the Armor Squirrel, and it's insane. This was gifted to me by my friend Ryan, who owns Armor Knives. He's a custom knife maker. He makes very, very, very good knives with very, very, very good materials. This is the sharpest pocket knife I've ever handled, and I've used a lot of sharp knives, and I sharpen my knives to a point where they're like razors, and this is still sharper. So they're not cheap because they're all custom made. This one, luckily for me, is a one-of-one frame lock. He quite often does button locks. That's his most common variation of this knife. And honestly, I'm not just saying this because he's my friend. His button locks are better than ProTech. And other people say that when we go to knife shows together. I sit and help him out on his stall, and people play with his knives and look at them, and they're like, yeah, this button lock's better than ProTech. It's got textured titanium scales, which have been coated, I think, to kind of look like a patina copper, which I really, really like. I like that patina look. That's why I like brass so much. And then the blade is a Chad Nichols 3V core. I really like this one. I like the patterns on the blade and how it looks. Holds an edge insanely well. Like I said, razor sharp. Ergonomics in the hand, as you can see, it fits insanely in the hand. Nice gym pin, so you're not going to slip and hurt yourself. The pocket clip doesn't get in the way because it's very small. As you can see, the pocket clip is absolutely tiny. It's smaller than what you'd see on a pen, which is good because it sits very, very deep in the pocket. And where the clip is so small and discreet, it doesn't even look like you're carrying a knife. If anyone even manages to see the clip, it's probably just going to look like a pen clip. So stops it from being as scary because it is a bit of an aggressive looking knife, which I really like. I kind of think it looks a bit like a pterodactyl. Or is that just me being overly creative with my thoughts? Either way, absolutely love it. They're not cheap. This is like the cheapest one he does. I think this is close to the $1,000 mark, and they go up from there, but they're worth every single penny. On to the next knife. So this is a new one. This is essentially a multi-tool. It's a new knife from the James brand. I'm sure you're familiar with them. This is the Ellis Slim. This is their thinnest knife that they've ever made. It's a two-handed opening slip joint, so it's actually legal pretty much anywhere. So all you unlucky bastards in the UK, including me when I get back there in a couple of weeks, you can carry this anywhere you want, at any time, as long as they don't change the laws again like they have recently for flippers. But I'm not going to get into that because we all know how I feel about the UK knife laws. These are an amazing knife. If you want to see the full video, I'll link it below as well. But I did like a full, quick first impressions rundown of these knives that they've just released. But it sits perfectly in my left pocket, nice and discreetly. Use it as a multi-tool because it's got a nice blade, it's got scissors and a pry bar / screwdriver / scraping tool on the top. Really, really, really rate this knife, and it just works really, really good for a secondary. On to the last knife. Yes, I have 3 on me at the moment, and there is a reason for that. So, as you may know, I'm in California, and you can carry what you want, basically. So, I've wanted to try out fixed blades for a long time. Obviously, being in the UK, you can't carry anything without it being illegal. So, I thought I'll make the most of trying to carry a fixed blade while I'm here. Now, I didn't want to get a big fixed blade because I don't want a massive knife just like dangling off my belt or whatever. So what I did is I went and I got a neck knife. This is the CRKT Spew, and honestly, I absolutely love it. I have it scout carry on the back of my belt. Sits there nice and tiny, nice and discreet, and so far I'm loving it. So I may be joining the fixed blade crew. But enough on that, because I haven't been using it for long enough or anything like that to really have it as part of my everyday carry. So we'll talk about that in future. Next up, we're going to talk about wallets. I test out a lot of wallets. I've been a wallet addict my whole life. I've got a whole story on that in another video that's on my channel somewhere. But I love wallets. I test out a lot. A lot of my friends are leather makers. They send me new wallet designs and they send me old wallet designs to try out. And I recently found my favorite wallet that I've ever used. And that is the Loyal Strickland Johnny Wallet Slim. Like I said, my favorite wallet ever. For me, this is pretty much perfect. Really small, like it's hardly any bigger, like you can see, than a card. So it's tiny, fits the cards perfectly, takes up absolutely zero space in my pocket. Look how thin it is. Patina's insanely well. Smells amazing. Fits all of the cards that I need perfectly. You can fit around 8 cards in here comfortably. I've got about 6 in here. And then there's just a space in the back for some cash. So that is literally all I can ask for in a wallet. Just something to store my stuff in that patinas nicely, takes up no space, and just does the job basically. Next up, we'll talk about the watch. Now, the watch hasn't changed. Well, it has changed. I have used different watches, but it hasn't changed basically since the last EDC update. The watch I've been wearing the most for like the last 7 or 8 months is the Breitling Colt. Absolutely love this thing. It's small. It doesn't stand out like a really expensive Rolex would or something like that. It's quite discreet, doesn't draw attention to itself, and people from a distance can't tell that it's an expensive, nice designer watch. That's one of the reasons I like it. I know what it is. I love it. Other watch people know what it is when they see it. I've had a lot of comments on it because it's not one that you see that often. It sits on the wrist nicely. Got a good weight to it. Really comfy. Keeps track of time very well and looks good. Perfect. The last thing that I want to talk about, and the last thing that I actually carry on my person every day, is my keys. If you've watched my channel for a while, you'll know how much I hate keys, like every other EDC person, and they're an absolute nightmare to get like a decent way of carrying. So I've been testing out a few different ways recently, and I'm actually planning a video on different good ways of carrying your keys. So my current setup that I'm testing out at the moment is this. So I recently picked up the JRW Gear Tough Clip. It's basically, if you don't know what it is, a paper clip made out of brass that you put your keys on and clip to your belt. And I absolutely love it. People think, oh, but the stuff's gonna fall off, and it doesn't, because it has a little rubber band on there that stops things from falling off, which is a great idea. And even before I put this rubber band on, because I kind of lost it when I was opening the packet because I didn't see it in there and it went somewhere and I only just found it again. But even without it, the keys didn't fall off. So I highly recommend this. It's so much easier than using the carabiner because you don't have to worry about clipping it. You literally just hook it to your belt and it's not falling off at all. Like, I've had no issues with it whatsoever. There is a titanium version as well, which looks great as well, and it's a lot lighter than the brass one, but for me, brass is my favorite. And then I also have, same as in the last EDC update I did, this little titanium toothpick, which is great. Just goes on your keys, you unscrew it, turn it around, screw it back in, then you've got a little titanium toothpick. It's a little bit sharp, but it's not too sharp like some of the titanium toothpicks you can get. You just got to be a little bit careful that you don't stab yourself. But it's always helpful to have a toothpick for a lot of things, basically. Car key and fob, nothing special. And then for my actual keys, I recently picked up the KeySmart Flexi, I think it is. Oh, it was on sale in Walmart for like $9, so I was like, I'll take it. But in here, I just have 3 keys and then the Big Idea Design Keychain pry bar. Now, I've got a little hack and kind of a little bit of a flip off to all you people giving me shit about this little pry bar. So, put a video of it on TikTok. It's got like 1 million views, and a lot of the comments were like, pry something then. You got no leverage on it. How is that going to pry anything? Like, it's not designed to be a big pry bar. If you want to use a big pry bar or pry open a door, use a crowbar. This is just like a helpful little thing that you can keep on your keychain. But saying that, putting it onto this KeySmart means you now have like an extra 4 inches of leverage on there. So yeah, it's not going to be as solid as using like a very, very big pry bar. But if you need that extra bit of leverage, you now have it with putting it on the KeySmart. So a little hack for you. But that is my keys for now. I'm quite liking it. Tempted to stop using the KeySmart just because it's so big. I wish it was smaller. So I might go back to like a shackle or something that I've been using for a while, but I like how this just keeps everything nice and compact, but it still jingles, so it's not my favourite thing in the world. I just wish I didn't have to carry keys. On to the final thing that I'm going to talk about for this month's pocket check. And it's not actually something that's in my pockets, it's a bum bag. There's a lot of things that I carry with me, sort of like in a backpack, or I chuck them in my car, and they all get like spread out all over the place, and it's annoying. So I was like, they're all things that I carry with me every single day. They're all things that I use, if not every day, every other day. So I need a way of carrying them around with me. And that's where this comes into play. Recently started using these. This is the Carry Commission and Blue Ridge Overland Gear bum bag, kind of like a tactical bum bag, modular on the inside. It's got Velcro either side, so you can put basically anything you want in there to be able to customize it to your liking. And I'm really, really enjoying carrying it. So the first thing that I carry in here is this. This is from my buddy Chris over at Golden Hour Supply Co. He makes some of the nicest leather stuff I've ever used. The wallets are amazing, this is amazing, and the other leather stuff that he makes is also amazing. This stays with me all the time. It's perfect for keeping my field notes book in, which is what I use for notes, planning videos, to-do lists, you name it. And then it's got this pen loop, so I can keep my pen in there, so it's all together, and then I can keep a couple of cards, or if I wanted some business cards in there, you could put business cards in there, and it just keeps it all into one nice, compact little package. And then the next thing in the bag is the multi-tool that I carry in there. This is the Gerber Dime, absolutely tiny, tiny, tiny multi-tool. Bottle opener on the top, opens out to have some pliers that are like spring-loaded, which is always good to have some pliers on you. And then it's got a lot of other stuff on there, sort of like a small flathead, a small Phillips, a small knife, some tweezers, a box opener, like you name it. It's just a great little multi-tool to carry with you because it takes up absolutely no space and is actually very handy. Next to that, I carry my flashlight, still rocking the Olight i3T EOS. Great flashlight. It's got like 5 lumens and then like 180 lumens or something like that. It works perfectly for everything that I need it for. It's got a reversible clip, so you can use it as like a head torch. If I could do it two-handed, it'd be helpful, but I'm holding the bag in my other hand. But there you can see, like, it's a head torch now. So great flashlight, like $20, and it just sits in the bag and I use it whenever I need it. But if I just need something in a pinch, I tend to just use the one on my phone at the moment. Next to that, just keep a chapstick because I'm in California and it's dry as fuck. And then next thing in there is another knife, surprise, surprise. And this one is just the one I keep in there because it's small, takes up no space, and that is the ProTech Runt 5. Tiny little automatic knife, ProTech, Magna Cut blade, aluminium scales, tiny, feels good in the hand, super sharp, super good little knife. And it is legal in California. I discovered that if you've got an automatic knife, the blade has to be under 2 inches and you can carry it. So this is legal, which is great. So it stays in here. It's basically my $200 letter opener, which is a bit annoying, but it's a great little knife. Then next, just a brass Zippo, always helpful to have one on you. Sometimes it's in my pocket, sometimes it's in the bag. Right now, it's in the bag. And then next to that, AirPods Pro. I don't say anything about that for music and calls and shit. And then I basically just got painkillers, Tylenol, and then some plasters or band-aids, whatever you want to call it. And that basically comes with me. It doesn't go everywhere with me. If I'm just going to the store, I'm not taking it. But if I'm going out for the day, or I'm going for a walk or something, then I take the pack with me and it's got everything I need in case of any reasons for me needing it. Quite a lot of stuff. Things have changed since the last EDC update. Things are going to change in the next month before the next one. And I'm excited to make this into a series for the channel. So I hope you guys liked the video. Do all the YouTube stuff. If you're not already subscribed, then do that. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of the gear I'm carrying. Let me know what you're carrying. And until next time, see you later.